Greetings and salutations, you fucking ants. Welcome back to Overclock Showcase. I'm still a little bit on the sick side, and that's only because I chose to record very soon after recording the last one, because I got Neurotoxin Payload, an Overclock which I am best friends with, and have been for some time. Best friends, though, in a sort of, not toxic way, although in this case, literally toxic, but more so in, like, the way of, you don't talk to them all the time, and you're not exactly upset that you don't talk to them all the time, but they're still like a brother to you. Basically, that kind of thing. Because that is to say, Neurotoxin Payload has managed to, despite Ghost Ship's best efforts, remain maybe the strongest overclock in the game. Maybe. Obviously, I am a freak and would make the case for ultramagnetic coils, which isn't showing up today. It almost did. Almost. And I think there are other contenders, but barely, basically. Like, barely. I'm actually kind of blanking on what the other contenders would be. I think there are stronger builds than what Neurotoxin Payload can provide, especially because it does have pitfalls. Neurotoxin Payload is bad in two contexts, and those contexts are industrial sabotage and rival presence. Basically, it's bad against the robots. That's it. You might be thinking, surely it's bad against bosses. No, it's not bad against bosses. Why? Because it's an extremely easy to apply, long-lasting status effect. You still have the fucking ridiculous magazine and ammo capacity of the Thunderhead without a damage reduction. It doesn't reduce your direct damage, so you can just mow down dreadnoughts with that supplement. It's fine. Nothing wrong with fighting dreadnoughts with this thing. Rockpox, same deal. The damage over time is not going to do much to the Rockpox, of course, but you still have the ridiculous amount of ammo that the Thunderhead brings, which is all you need to take care of Rockpox. It's not weak against them at all. And then Core Spawn, maybe, I guess you could bring up Core Spawn, but they are relegated to a single event, and it's not weak against them at all. So, I guess you probably shouldn't bring it up. It's literally just robots, and it is bad against robots. This is very hard to use in Industrial Sabotage. I actually did one yesterday with it, and I won, but that is literally just through sheer force of will. It is bad against robots, but apart from that, it's ridiculously good. So what does it do exactly? Poison enemies within splash damage range. I actually like how concise that description is, with a slightly larger AoE. By the way, if I'm not mistaken, it's actually slightly... Okay. I am mistaken, but if I'm also not mistaken, it used to be bigger than Carpet Bomber, I think. It shouldn't be, though, and it's not, so that's fine. It definitely shouldn't be, though. And I do want to tell you exactly what the poison damage is. But, okay, so reduced AoE damage and less ammo. The reduced AoE damage, I get that it can come across as a big downside to some, but it really just hinges on the fact that that poison effect is hilariously strong. It lasts for a very long time. It does a lot of damage over time. It kills things like grunts so easily, and I believe I think it is still a 50% affliction chance. It used to be 33%, yeah, 50% chance. So theoretically, we have 660 ammo. That's 330 chances, or 330 times that you will inflict neurotoxin in the splash radius. That is potentially hundreds of grunts, hundreds upon hundreds of grunts without resupplying. It does 12 poison damage per second for 10 seconds, so that's 120 damage. That's easily enough to kill grunts with just a couple shots, like direct. And this is why direct damage on neurotoxin is actually okay, because a couple direct hits to a slasher, it will be neurotoxin, it would have taken some damage, it's probably going to die. So the second build does actually go into that, but I've taken a bit of a weird approach. Of course, Overclock Showcase, I try and show you the two most different builds I can that are still viable with the Overclock. And yes, this build, the second build, is going to be very different, but it is going to be very deliberately poisoning itself. I believe so strongly in this Overclock that I've made a build that I think is pretty bad for it. Not bad in the sense of I just haven't upgraded it or anything like that. I think that stuff is kind of dumb. Not that I can't see myself ever doing something like that one day, but I still wanted to fill out all the slots, and I came up with this pretty bad build. I haven't actually used it yet. That tells you how much I fast-tracked this one. But this build, this is the hypothetical platonic ideal of using Neurotoxin Payload. I haven't actually tested it with this secondary exactly, but any secondary that deals decent single target damage is perfect pairing for Neurotoxin, because Neurotoxin handles everything else. Neurotoxin handles crowd control, crowd clearing, and high value target killing for sort of things that aren't super strong. So, acid spitters, for example, you don't need a single target weapon for acid spitters when you're using Neurotoxin Payload. So, ammo, fire rate. You could take accuracy. It actually doesn't make a difference. I'm just choosing to take fire rate for fun here. Actually, you know what? I think I'm more comfortable with accuracy. So let's take accuracy. AOE damage. This tier is completely up to you. Completely. In fact, we do gain more damage that way. But I'm going to go with the splash damage. I think I find it a little bit more comfortable, especially because I do have a very strong single target secondary. AOE sides in tier 4. Once again, this is actually not like insanely one note. You could take arm breaking. You saw that I did on the other build. And that's because a lot of times you don't have to spray into a horde to use this effectively. You can poison one enemy at a time. That is an entirely valid way of using Neurotoxin Payload. So if you want to use it to sort of just do that and then sort of tear off the armor of certain enemies, that's fine. But in this build, we are actually going to be alleviating that directly by using the Coil gun for single target, something that ignores armor. Tier 5, Suppressive Fire. This fear upgrade is so powerful, and it gets even stronger with Neurotoxin Payload, because what keeps this upgrade, I suppose, in check is the fact that it sort of scares enemies away in random directions, which at times scatters them away from the center of your splash damage. With Neurotoxin, it doesn't matter, because as long as they're poisoned, that's all the damage you're going to need for that enemy. So the fear actually becomes insanely strong. It's a fantastic crowd control tool, on top of something that's already slowing enemies down. If you know how fear works, basically fear makes an enemy want to move a specific distance away from the point of the fear. If they're slowed down, it's going to take long for that to happen. Fear is not a duration-based effect, it's a distance-based effect. So it becomes ridiculously strong with Neurotoxin. So, a single target secondary to pair with that is, for me, triple tech chambers, just all in on damage. So damage here, overcharger for more damage. Concussive shockwave, because fearing enemies with the coil gun is a little bit disruptive, especially if you're using triple tech. You kind of want them stunned so they're in the same place. It makes them easier to hit with the subsequent shots. Defense enhancement, no, whatever, doesn't matter. Same with Electro Trail, but it is a little bit more damage. Now, I'm going to talk about why there is a good argument for going for more ammo on triple tech chambers once I start the mission, because this isn't about the coil gun, this is about Neurotoxin Payload. So, I have lined up what I think is going to be... I think with Neurotoxin, you need something that is... you don't want to do a generic mission. I think most people understand how good this thing is at just clearing house on anything that isn't robots. But something that's more in a more dynamic vein, not that it's new anymore, it's actually really not new anymore, but duck and cover, a exceptionally high proportion for a specific type of enemy, ranged enemies. We're going to be getting massive groups of Terrors and Spitters, and they work wonderfully for Neurotoxin because they're going to prove how effective this is as a crowd control tool. So the fear is going to get a lot of play here, because yeah, it's fantastic against grunts. That should not be a surprise to anyone at all. But the fact is, these are the kind of enemies, all these ranged enemies are the kind of things that you want disrupted. Grunts, you're not too fussed about fearing them. Slowing them down is nice, but fear is not like a super important part of that equation. Right, I do need to lock in a little bit, but most of these guys should die really quickly. So you can, for the most part, basically shoot until the enemies die. Well, actually no, I shouldn't have said die. What I meant to say is, you're kind of meant to just shoot until they're feared, because chances are they will be poisoned by the time they get feared. Yeah, this probably isn't going to be easy. I'm not super practiced in terms of like recency with this kind of mission, but I'm hoping that my belief in and trust in Neurotoxin Payload will carry us through, because it is just that good. I'm probably not going to put a priority on secondary objectives, because this is not going to be a quick mission, even though it's a point extraction. Now, guards are something that will bleed through a little bit, but that's no problem for us. Obviously, web splitters are going to be especially vulnerable to what we're doing. Okay, look at this. This is not bad. Tritolite deposit. Of course, the Bartok scale bramble for good measure. But something that you will hopefully see and probably already know is Neurotoxin Payload's exceptionally good ammo efficiency. It is a hilariously efficient overclock at just killing large groups of squishy enemies and barely using any of its ammo to do so. It is brilliant. It's why I actually do genuinely give a lot of credence to the single target approach to Neurotoxin, because it makes it really satisfying to sort of just laser down individual enemies while having this supplementary poison damage just always active. I actually really like it. Obviously, like I said, I have skewered that build because it's going to be the second build of the video. I have skewered it towards being deliberately bad, but hopefully you'll still see why that approach is also valid for Neurotoxin. It's I think it is less of a one-note over. I think obviously it's very reasonable that the main criticism people levy at Neurotoxin Payload is it's a one-note overclock. I don't think that's the case. I think it is. I don't think there's many ways to use it, but I also don't think it's one note. But I do need to keep in mind I have more enemies times 2 active, which is a lot of enemies. Any Hazard 5 plus players out there know that it is a lot of enemies. Luckily, we're getting a lot of nitro, so if I just lock the fuck in, this should not be a challenge, really. Hence the coffee, which I'm going to finish because it's getting cold. Right, let's go.
Lock and loaded.
More nitro. It is. Okay, good. Good. Always a good thing. I'm going to try not to wake that spitballer just yet. There they are. There's the acid spitters. That's triple tech, by the way. That's triple tech with more damage. It is beautiful. Right, spitballers up. Okay, good. What? Cluster grenades are actually going to do nothing here. If I get them to hit right, they will do a lot of damage, but they're going to be hard to use properly in this context. I need some sugar soon. Shit. Right, I need an eye. Yeah, I need an eye on some red sugar. You're probably going to see a lot of strafing during this while I'm running away, because just running in a single direction away from enemies is not going to keep you safe from them. Especially with this combination of ranged enemies, you need to be making maneuvers that they can't quite keep up with. And you'll notice, though, something that's happening here, due to just due to the nature of the enemies we're fighting, my ammo economy is very much so skewered towards using the Thunderhead.
Bosco, find it.
But it has still killed a lot of enemies without really faltering. We are going to need to resupply probably before the next swarm. That, which isn't always... If you're not playing on with more enemies, that's not the case. This is because, look, factor 2, right? It's a lot of enemies. If you're not using that, you're going to get through like 3 or 4 swarms at least without resupplying. But this is different. And also the nature of the enemies as well. They do, obviously we're getting pretty dense groups of acid spitters and whatnot, but they are still scattered more than the average grunt swarm is. They don't inherently clump together. They clump together more in like just when they spawn. They don't actually do it on purpose. Grunts stick together because they follow you. I think it's a fair way to explain it. Anyway. Best worst beer mug.
Just got updated with a new location.
Hi there. Where'd the guard go? Oh, the guard went all the way up there. Okay. I'm gonna find the quark. Okay, Bosco can get that one. I'll get this one. Although I need to get that resupply nitra soon. But yeah, so the triple tech chambers fitting that I was talking about. So yeah, we've gone for all damage on triple tech, taking both the damage upgrade and the overcharger upgrade. But with triple tech, the thing is, there is a very strong argument for not doing that, because the way triple tech works is the secondary shots that you get, demonstrated as such, not well utilized there, but that was literally just a demonstration. Those secondary shots use half the ammo of a normal shot, but deal 75% of the damage. So they deal more damage proportional to the amount of ammo they use. So if you go in for damage over ammo, you end up with a higher chance to simply kill things with a single shot, rather than have the need to use the subsequent, more ammo-efficient shots, of which you also have less of in total by taking less ammo. So there is genuinely a very solid argument for just taking more ammo, and you are overall going to be a more effective player, a more effective killing machine. That's not a recommendation necessarily, as you can see, because I'm using the sort of less efficient version, but it is something to keep in mind that this is not what I'm using is not the sort of codified best way of using triple tech like at all. But my recommendation, in a general sense, my recommendation will always be to experiment. I really only want to provide a baseline. Because I already said, like, Neurotoxin, just take a secondary that deals good single target damage. You don't need to really get much more complicated than that. It can be what you want. This is just my sort of preference. I just really like triple tech. I think it's fun as hell. Which is still like a relatively recent development for me, as far as the game goes. I used to use triple tech for crowd clearing, which is still a perfectly valid way of using it. Until I discovered UMC, and I thought, oh, I can kind of replace triple tech now. And then I realised, well, first of all, it's still good at crowd clearing. And I also realised that, oh, triple tech is also really good at single target. In fact, it's probably the best way to do it on the coil gun in general. The mull has a higher ceiling, but it's also much harder to use. Yeah, so this is where the accuracy I feel like is justified. Things like tri-jaws that are sort of at a distance, it's much harder to miss them when you have the accuracy upgrade. Look at that. But obviously, whenever they get feared, they are disrupted from actually attacking, that is the most important thing about the fear. In this case, it's the disruption, not just moving them away from us, because they don't really move away from us anyway. Oh shit. Damn it. That's not good. Yeah, they don't really move away from us in a sort of productive way anyway. You know, because obviously the further away a grunt is from you, the further it is away from be able to attack you. But in this case, we're just sort of scattering them. But yeah, disrupting their attacks is the MO of the fear here.
Watch for the cluster grenade. You ever bring an acid bug? Started like your mother dead. Go! Get to one! I took down the acid spitter.
Shit. In a similar vein, by the way, about the triple tech stuff, it's also advisable to actually use controlled magnetic flow as well. That is actually very valid because technically, okay, if I was going to go down, I don't mind it being that way as long as we actually beat this mission. I think we will. I think we will. I think I might ignore the fossils. Don't hate me for that, please. Also, I kind of actually need to finish it because it's part of the driller promotion. We will do this thing though, for sure.
Come and get me, you big fuck. Born ready. Go! Get to one!
Okay, we're basically... Okay, so there's a quark up there. Oh, no, that's the beer mug. Hold on.
Whack-a-mole!
You know, I think Point Extraction might be the most nostalgic mission for me. I don't know why, but recently Deep Rock's been feeling like more like its old self for some reason, and I have no idea why. It obviously technically there's no real difference, but there's obviously just these more simple environments, specifically on the space rig. There's just less stuff. There's no real difference between the game now and as it was like 5 years ago, but it did feel different still. But that is literally just a temporality thing, right? It felt different because it was a different time and there was a different amount of stuff in the game. And the presser. I love fighting your pressers with this thing. Because it's not amazing. But yeah. Well, presser's actually a kind of enemy that Neurotoxin isn't amazing against. Same goes for bulk detonators. I say it's slightly better against bulks because bulk's already so slow and Neurotoxin kind of just grinds them to a halt. So you kind of just want them always Neurotoxin. That's where Neurotoxin kind of provides its other kind of function, which is just constantly keeping this status effect applied to tankier enemies. So you sort of work around the horde by shooting other things while just very easily keeping the suppressor neurotoxined.
We've got no ammo left. I was born
Okay, well, now we are going to go into that tritolite deposit, which should be a walk in the park for neurotoxin, frankly.
ready to kill some more crates. Red sugar. These bugs don't stand a chance against us.
Oh, swarm. Okay.
That was the last of the bramble knuckles. There's another one. Incoming. Scramble, bramble. You are dead. Born ready.
Oh, I forgot you can shoot red projectiles out the sky.
What a dog-holding experience!
There you go. That's how strong the fear is. He just got surrounded by like a dozen slashers. Just shoot sort of down at them a little bit. Oh fuck. Shoot down at them a little bit, and they'll be just all feared within like a second and just running away from you. Although this might actually be where I die from actual combat. I'm betting that I'm actually gonna. I think I'm gonna make it out. I think I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna get back. With deposit and cool down another resupply over at the Tritolite. Not been here 17 minutes. That is a long time for a point, even for a longer point extraction. That's quite a long time, really. So some of you probably are familiar how I do this. A Tritolite deposit is basically an opportunity for me to just spawn a shitload of enemies. Not that we don't have that anyway, but for Neurotoxin I think it's going to be really complementary. Although, because of duck and cover, I don't know if this is going to spawn just grunts as it normally does, or if it's going to spawn a lot of spitters instead. So yeah, like even if the Tritolite deposit was, or even if the bomb dispenser was like hilariously close, we still wouldn't like do it properly. This is just an opportunity to kill a bunch of shit. In fact, I might take that a step further by starting the extraction sequence. So that's going to spawn even more stuff and just make this an absolutely mad dash. Okay, looks like it's going to be mostly grunts, though. Wow!
Out of the way! That's down! Left it, web spinner kill!
So we're basically got to be able to get like just massive amounts of grunts and massive amounts of spitters, like separately, almost. Jesus Christ. Huh. We could potentially get out of here before the Tritolite's even done. Which I don't think that's how I want to do it necessarily. We could. It.
We did everything we could, or at least I did.
Oh, I didn't really clock that the drop would have landed. Shit. It's not. I don't want to die now that I've just realised I can leave. Okay. By the way, the kill count here is going to be very high for a mission under half an hour. Crap. Shit! I thought I could get onto that zip line. I don't think that was an unreasonable expectation. But now this might all just go to shit. You know what? I know what to do. It's actually easy.
Saved by a machine, how humiliating. Shield placed.
Right, let's just rack up the kills a bit more, just while we can. Alright. And there you go. That was Neurotoxin kind of at its best. I think you will hopefully accept that both of my deaths were fairly extraneous, not really anything to do with Neurotoxin itself. And hopefully you're also going to see a ridiculously high kill count at the end of this. I bet it's about 600 maybe, somewhere in that range. Anyway, there you go. Yeah. So the next mission will be whatever the assignment mission is, because I kind of need to do that. I technically don't need to, but it helps me play the game when my dwarf isn't level capped. Okay. Oh. Okay, no, it's got 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Still, putting industrial sabotage and escort duty on the same assignment is nasty work. I understand why they shouldn't, like, make that so it can't happen. I get that, but it's still pretty bad. Also, look at that. Duck and cover, Swarmageddon, point extraction. That would be crazy. Anyway. So yeah, like I said, the other build is kind of made to be bad, but also showcase the single target aspect of things. So, whatever we get, I'm probably going to keep it flat. Like, just flat hazard 5. Okay, elite threat as well. Alright, in that case. Yeah, it's going to have to be flat. So I decided on Electro Minelets for supportive disruption, I guess. I'm not even going to describe what I did to it. And Neurotoxin Payload Thunderhead built for single target. So reach max rate of fire faster to activate feedback loop, damage in tier 1 and tier 3, and armor breaking to help with that damage. Sticky grenade, I feel, will also be the best. Maybe. Whatever. Let's do it. This is hopefully... The problem is, if I fail, then that's going to be really annoying, because I'm still going to have to do this mission. But I'm going to give it my best shot. You wish me luck now, fellas. And fellarettes. Not that I think there are many fellarettes watching. There aren't that many fellas watching, but doesn't change anything. I'm still trucking. Although when this comes out... Well, when this comes out, playtest 4 will either have happened or be confirmed to be not happening, I think. For roll call, that is. Okay. I guess, you know, escort duty, the start of the mission isn't going to be much, much to write home about. In fact, I'll skip it. I'm just going to scour this place for Nitro. Although, I'm about to cross into another room, and I'm thinking there are enemies on the other side of this dirt. So, let's see. Okay, I can feel them on my back. Hi, fellas.
All you got, you slippery shit.
Right. I don't actually need to ignore the festive fees at all. Like, Neurotoxin can take care of them so easily, but I'm still going to ignore them. Can't be asked for a secondary objective for this.
Weapon ready.
Okay, looks like we're going to have to use the drill dozer. Pretty much straight away. I don't think I can justify digging to the next room. You should, the way I see it, as long as you can see the next room on the map, you should dig to it. And that could take you up to the Heartstone. And that's fine.
Zip right up.
But in this case, it does not. Is there anything up there? No night. Oh, no, there's some nitro.
Have to wait for
Where did
their
we come
return.
from? Oh, there. Right, I need to check this path. Nitro as well. Do I have resupply on? I do. Resupply Vampire Born ready. That is such a standard setup. I typically manage to avoid Vampire on Gunner.
Zip line done.
But this really is like the standard setup.
Go. Escort the drill dozer.
Okay, let's go. This is where I find out it's going to be a walk in the park or a
You heard the man. Let's stay close to the red end. Keep the bugs away from
a run through the knife pond. There you go. Writing instincts.
Attention team, to keep the drill dozer running at full capacity, you need to keep it clear of bugs. Also, we got an incoming swarm.
Yeah. Okay, I want to point out, the way that I'm going to be using the Electro mine is not part of me trying to prove that it's bad. That is a separate thing. I don't know if that video is out yet. I'm not going to comment on it. But I'm not trying to use it badly. If it does seem that way. At any point.
born ready. Drill dozer fixed. There's a recharging.
The drill dozer is out of fuel. You need to refill the fuel canisters mounted on its back. Use the canisters to extract any nearby oil shale, and we'll have the drill dozer operational again in no time.
We need to repair the red eye.
Probably don't need a shield necessarily.
Reloading. You're as good as new.
Okay.
Loretta. To go.
Got that done quick. In the blink of an eye.
Ready to go. Let's get this mission rolling. Drill dozer operational and homing in on the Heartstone.
Don't got room for more.
Oh god, there's actually quite a lot of nitro around here. Which is a good thing. Very good thing. Okay.
Shield up.
Incoming swarm. Keep the dozer safe.
Don't know what went so wrong there. Did I get flung by the drill? Like, specifically? I wasn't really paying attention. God, there is a lot of nitro in there. Okay. Like I said, I actually don't want to fail this mission. I'm not even really sure what I'm exactly doing wrong here.
Thanks, Bosco. Help me protect the dozer.
Wow, that could have killed me so easily. In fact, I'm pretty sure I was like objectively saved by Revive invulnerability there. You might.
Drill dozer ran out of juice again. Refill the canisters.
Yeah, we're going to lose the rest of the segment. That's obvious.
Minus, alert. The drill dozer is taking permanent damage.
Someone debug the dozer. Reloaded.
And we lose another one.
The hull of the drill dozer is taking permanent damage. Remember, it's game over.
Oh dear.
Destroyed, so step to it.
This is very quickly gone south. And I blame the Elite Menace for that.
Lock and loaded.
Oh. It's okay. Look at that, through the power of editing. We're back.
Drill dozer moving. Everything looks fine, but expect that to change soon.
Resupply for gratuitous resupply, I guess. I'll give this mission credit. It's been quite generous with the nitro and the oil shale.
Swarm.
I can't complain about that stuff.
Drill dozer is top priority.
Wow. Yeah, I do kind of think Neurotoxin, it gets a lot out of that fear effect. Like, a lot. Although before actually recording this, I did run this build with ultramagnetic coils and the coil gun, and used the fear on that, on this version of the Thunderhead. So, you know, the damage-oriented Neurotoxin, and that was actually really good because I still had something to keep the enemies in check. We basically have no crowd control here, which is actually a really big problem with Electro Minelets. It's like basically the illusion of crowd control.
Dozer, prepare. I was born ready. Feel my wrath. Lock and loaded. Doretta could really use an armor.
Fourth stone? Nope. No, we're not doing it. I need to finish this mission. It's not gonna. It wouldn't surprise anyone if this build couldn't get through a core stone. We wouldn't be learning anything new.
drop has been ordered and is on the way.
Oh, God, I'm so close to finishing getting the rest of the fleets. Might as well do it. Right. This Brood Nexus will have to go, but after that, we're going to start. I think we're going to start the Hearthstone immediately.
Arrive, go restock.
Damn it. No, leave me alone. Go away. Get off of you. Be gone. Foul creatures.
We are losing the drill dozer. Protect and repair. The door is not free.
Extraction commencing. Drill dozer running at full steam. Stay alert, team. The noise and vibrations are attracting the bugs. We got a big horde of enemies approaching the drill dozer. Defend it or die trying. Contact! Lock and load!
Forming the radar.
I suppose it's still worth mentioning. If you were playing like Hazard 4 below, you'd probably be having an easy time with this build. Which applies to a lot of things. It does. But I think when even on Hazard 4, as easy as I find Hazard 4, counterintuitive builds can still result in failure. But I feel like this one would probably pull through just fine. Although it's been actually a very long time since I played below Hazard 5 at all. No reason to. There's just no reason to. I think I have done in within the last year, but only to finish an assignment that I was really just done, fed up with. I kind of did that just to help me repair it. Because I want to at least go into the final phase with full health. Full health on this segment of the Drill-Dozer. Keep it in mind, because I have lost the other two already. Okay, I thought that would count as hitting the Drill-Dozer, because obviously when those things hit the Drill-Dozer, they do a lot of damage. Kind of the idea. Ah, so that one did actually do it, which is bad. Just need to keep it on full health. And don't tell me, oh look how much work Electro Minelets is doing for you. If this was UMC on the Coil gun, it'll be infinitely better still. Trust me. Oh, that was bad. I actually, basically, what happened there was I used the dash at like the wrong time because I actually triggered the cage to appear around me at the worst time possible, which was right when I landed on the drill dozer to try and repair it. Anyway, I think we're going to be okay. Okay, we did it. Jesus Christ. The oppressor's still alive, but that's fine. Right. Go, let's go, because I think I can get out of here. Let's go. Gotta go, we just gotta leave. We gotta go. I think they did do a good job adding that extra phase into the drill dozer. I think the Hearthstone fight is probably can't get better. I think they could still make the rest of the mission somehow a bit more. I don't know. I don't know what it would be, really. I think it being... Yeah. It should have some kind of shield system for when it's parked, basically. When it's not using any fuel, basically. So, it's not moving, it's not using the drill. So when it's just stopped and you need to refuel, I think there should be something there to help that be a less punishing set. Because that should be the part where you're allowed to sort of explore and actually play the game how you normally would. Because it kind of makes escort duty a time-sensitive mission where it isn't. Point extraction really, I think, really should be the only truly time-sensitive mission from start to finish. Escort duty has the illusion that you can sort of have time, just like chill. Point extraction doesn't. I think I don't know if it should be invulnerable when it's parked, but maybe. Maybe. But maybe when you have the fuel cells taken out of it, because the difference, like the enemies want the fuel, so they're going to come up when an ambush spawns during while it's parked. They're coming for like the fuel canisters or something. I don't know. Let me in! Let me in!
We're pulling you back in. The mule's been successfully retrieved. Make it snappy, team. The drop pod won't hang around forever.
And there you go. That's Neurotoxin Payload. Unsurprisingly, it's an amazingly powerful overclock, but under the right circumstances, you can push it towards being a little bit counterproductive. And that was the point of the second build. The first build, though, that's the money. That's what you want to go for. That was incredible. Yeah, obviously, yeah, it's fantastic. It's an S tier overclock. Probably always will be. So, strong recommendation. I wouldn't say you need to take my word as gospel on how to use this thing necessarily, but it does have a bias. But it is good at just about everything except robots. So, that is going to be it. Oh, hold on. I've got claimable perk points. Whoa. Who knew? Is that the last one of those? Oh, there's still more duck and cover to do. I guess I should probably do these. Anyway, that is going to be it for this episode of the Overclock Showcase. If you enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to see more stuff like this, and you want to see on top of everything, do Deep Rock and Road Core. And also, make sure to click the bell. And as always, thank you to our wonderful one and only member, Box Fox Scoot. I know you're still there. I love you. And Now it's time to find out what next week's Overclock is going to be. It's for the cryo cannon. So basically, how this works, if you've seen this before, we number the overclocks from left to right, top to bottom. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've already done 1, 5, and 6. So we've done improved thermal efficiency and tuned cooler and crystal nucleation, of course. That's how the series started. And we've got these other 4. I'm happy with any of these except flow rate expansion. I know we have to do it at some point, but I just mean right after doing these 2, just not flow rate expansion. Anyway, so we have our wonderful Wheel of Fortune here. The number of which will decide what we get. So number 7 is the one that we don't want. Okay, we've avoided number 7. Very good. It's going to be between 2 and 3. 3? 3. Okay, that might be the best option here. Or the one I want to do the most. It is Ice Spear. So who am I going to put Ice Spear on out the gate? Oh, well, there you go. We have an Ice Spear right here. Ice Spear, wonderful overclock. That's going to be a good one. I'll see you then. But now it's time to have our Neurotoxin Payload themed drink. And this is the Neurotoxin. I love this look that I made for the Thunderhead here. I think this is perfect for Neurotoxin. It's what's in the thumbnail. Let's make sure copyright music is off. And I'm sure you can guess what the Neurotoxin Payload themed drink is going to be. That's right, everyone. It's Smart Stout. No, it's Macterra Brew, of course. That's actually the wrong dwarf still. Wrong look. Oh well. Alright. I'll see you next time.